Hi there, I'm Jack Van Ryn, Mayor of the Town of Coaldale. I will be giving you a council brief update from our regular council meeting that was held Monday, September 26, 2022. And the first item that came up on the agenda was a delegation that we had attend from the Lethbridge Corridor Victim Services. This unit is based out of the RCMP detachment in Coaldale, and we had Mindy Forsyth and Janelle Fife present to council regarding some changes that are coming up to victim service units across the province. And the Honorable Tyler Shandro, the Minister of Justice and our Solicitor General, sent out a press release to regarding the Victim Services Unit, and one paragraph in there regarding the changes, and I'll just read it to you here. And the purpose was to make sure victims have consistent access to services across Alberta. Program delivery is shifting to a 4-zone model which aligns with the current RCMP districts. This will help us improve the service delivery throughout the province and allow for greater flexibility and capacity to deliver services at the community level where they are needed the most. The program will provide access to emergency financial assistance, including support for domestic violence victims and relocation assistance for human trafficking victims. We'll also increase the 45-day limit on applications to 2 years, increase counseling services to a maximum of $12,000, provide extended medical health benefits to victims with serious injuries, will provide additional financial supports to victims with severe injuries, provide victims with court attendance reimbursement, provide funeral expense reimbursements to families of homicide victims. And these supports were started being available as of September the 1st. So Mindy and Janelle did a very good job updating council, and myself personally, I've had conversations with the Staff Sergeant Mike Newman, and Mike is going to keep council updated as how the program is running out of the Coaldale detachment, because it's important that we keep our finger on the pulse of how this is rolling out, because it affects everyone in southern Alberta. Then we had a public hearing regarding a rezoning, and this was regarding the Birds of Prey property. So that whole area that the Birds of Prey sits on, that's to the north of 16th Avenue, that's owned by the town of Coaldale, and then the Birds of Prey turns around and leases back a little over 12 acres. So we passed the bylaw rezoning at our council meeting, and we changed it from institutional slash recreational to direct control. And this gives council the flexibility to work with the manager, Colin Weir, on some of the projects that he is planning on doing at the facility. And one that kind of put this one into motion is a learning center that he wants to construct on the property, an environmental learning center. So this kind of smooths out the process of getting all the permitting and stuff in place for that. So that was passed last evening, and that was presented to us by our Director of Growth and Investment, Cameron Mills. Then we had our Director of Recreation and Community Services, Russ Tanner, present to council regarding the Coaldale swimming pool. So one thing that we're going to be doing over winter is replacing the pool membrane. So that's the vinyl bladder that's inside of the pool itself, where the water sits in. We've had some issues with it where it's leaking, and because the new pool is still years away, we decided to spend $225,000 to replace that liner, so that we can keep our pool in service until we can construct a new outdoor pool or a new indoor pool. And we currently have a citizen committee referred to as Waves and Blades. And the Waves component of that is looking into a new pool. And I sit on that committee myself personally, along with Councillor Chapman. And we are at the point now where we are going to be having an open house, I should say, with information on the pool, whether it be indoor or outdoor, and all the different amenities that our residents would like to see in this pool, like lazy rivers, climbing walls, hot tubs, slides, and we have price tags for each one of those, and the cost of the total building. And also, very important for myself is that it also shows the tax implications to our residents. So we'll have, let's say, a $400,000 house or a $600,000 house. If we go with a $20 million indoor pool, it'll show, well, this is how much your taxes are going to go up. And that's for the construction. And building a pool is the easy part. It's maintaining it. So that ongoing yearly maintenance, it'll show what that's going to do to all of our individual residential tax rates. So that's in the process as well. And then the blades component of that committee is looking into a second sheet of ice. And we're actively working on that as well. So other than replacing the pool membrane for $225,000, because we're going to be using this pool for the next 10 years, we thought we would add another amenity to make it more attractive to our residents. And with that being said, we're going to spend $200,000 on a water slide. And it's a very cool slide. Russ gave us a PowerPoint last night. And it's similar to what you see at Henderson Lake, or Henderson Pool, I should say, in Lethbridge and also in Tabor. And this pool will have have water pumped up to the top of it, so people can slide down the slide with a water stream. And also the nice thing about this $200,000 item is that it can be relocated to the new pool when the time comes. So this will add to the level of activity at our pool. Something else that was approved last night was to spend $20,000 on some deck furniture and also a pool ramp. So the ramp is for any mobility issues, whether it be for seniors. We wanted to make it as barrier free as we could. So on the shallow end of that pool, it's about 2.5 feet deep. So this ramp will let them walk into the pool at a gradual decline with a railing to make it safe. So we approved that as last night as well, as part of the $20,000 price tag. Then there's a couple items that we discussed, but we're going to hold off on that until budget deliberations that's taking place later this fall. And one of those was a climbing wall that came with a $70,000 price tag. So we're going to look further into that this fall once we know where we're at in our budget cycle. Also, we discussed installing a beach volleyball court adjacent to the existing pool in that grassy area. There's enough room to have beach volleyball and also have grass available for the people that frequent the pool to relax on. One of the questions that came up was, how will the sand affect the pool and the filtering equipment? So Russ was going to look into that a little bit further, because we all know that if you're playing beach volleyball, you're going to go jump in the pool afterwards. And then that sand that gets into the pool, we want to make sure that does not cause a maintenance issue. So that's going to come back to us this fall as well. Then we had a update on our Aerated Lagoon upgrades. So in other words, our sewage treatment plant. We had our manager of development and engineering, Jason Siemens, give council a very good update on that. And that project came with a price tag of $12,466,178.09. And that project is nearing completion. It's on budget. And thanks to the Alberta government, we received a grant that covered off 37.17% of that cost for $4,391,635. So as it stands now, we're looking at a grand opening for that facility on October 13th. So I'll make sure that on social media, the invites will go out so that if anybody wants to come to the ribbon cutting, that would be great. And I'm also going to, some of these reports that we had at council, I'm going to, over the next week, I'm going to post them on my Facebook page. And I encourage everyone to go through those because there's some really interesting information there. And our staff, it's unbelievable the amount of work they put into these presentations. So I want to share those online. Then we had a update from our Director of Operational Services, Justin McPherson. And Justin gave us the operations update. And some of the things that we've been doing so far this year is that we did some fleet replacement of some vehicles. We purchased a riding lawnmower. We sold off some equipment. But some of the things that he spoke on last night I found quite interesting that I want to share with you is that, you know, everybody knows that the sidewalks are bad in Coaldale in certain areas, and I totally agree with you. But I just wanted to share that so far this year we've replaced 211 meters of sidewalks. We have done 1,860 meters of asphalt. And we've done our line painting. So for people that get up in the morning and they notice they have new crosswalks and curb lines done, we do that during the night so that it doesn't affect traffic flow. So as far as the line painting goes, we did 84 crosswalks. We did 3,090 meters of center lines, and we did 3,100 meters of edge lines. So I found that to be quite interesting. And then also we put out for tender the 2022 to 2025 snow removal, and the contractor that was chosen with the best bid was Dennis Dirtworks out of Coaldale here. And Dennis has been doing our snow removal for several years now and does an excellent job. So it's nice to see that we're able to keep that within our own community. Justin also touched on some alley rebuild programs. So during the yearly maintenance of each alley, the grader operator makes notes of alleys that are particularly bad. And along with the amount of traffic, a drainage assessment, and resident input, we will decide which alleys to rebuild. So that's an ongoing project that we do every year, and we have $75,000 budgeted for that. So then after Justin was done, we had our asset manager, Tim Koba, do a update on asset management. And I have to tell you, that report was amazing, like the amount of work that Tim put into that. And I'm just going to open up, talks about some of the items that Tim looks after. And basically asset management for the town of Coaldale is keeping track of all the infrastructure items, and so I'll just read off some of them. Our water, so that includes 282 hydrants, 64 kilometers of water mains. Our lagoons, we have 69 kilometers of sewer mains. Our storm water systems, our roads, we have 65 kilometers of roads, so streets and avenues in Coaldale, 69 kilometers of sidewalks. It also includes buildings, so we have 12 facilities owned by the town of Coaldale. Our pathways, all the vehicles, machinery, and equipment. So Tim gave a very robust report on the asset management, and I'll be posting that on my social media page, Facebook as well. Then we had our financial update up until June 30th, 2022, presented by our Chief Financial Officer and Deputy CAO, Kyle Bouchamp. And Kyle, again, did an excellent report, and I'll be sharing that as well. So I'll also have a link to our agenda package in the comment section. So if you just click on that, it'll take you to all these reports as well. Then we had our Deputy Mayor Dale Pickering give us an update on the Gem of the West Museum. And then we had our Director of Growth and Investment, Cameron Mills, give council an update on our offsite levies. And basically the question is, what are offsite levies? So simply put, offsite levies are charges paid by developers to provide funding support to long-term infrastructure projects which accommodate the town's growth. The idea is that new development pays some or all of the cost of growth rather than having those costs fall onto the existing tax base. In other words, you and I. For example, new development triggering the need to spend $1 million upgrading a nearby intersection or the town wastewater lagoon would contribute some of the value towards those infrastructure costs. So when a developer wants to do a project in Coaldale, there's offsite levies involved. And those are based back in the day per acre, or now hectare. So currently the offsite levies are around $85,000 per hectare for the town of Coaldale. And we're reviewing that entire policy, and that'll be coming back this fall with some recommendations because we need to increase them to keep up with the ongoing cost increases when you have a municipality. And other than that, that was it. I'll have this agenda package again in the comment section, and please take a look at it. There are some really good reports, like I've already said. And also, if you have any questions, concerns, my phone number will be at the end of this video, my email address. And please, if you see me on the street, stop me and we'll have a conversation. And then other than that, have a great week, and I'll talk to you again soon. Take care.